Hello, everyone. Welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphreys, joined by a co-host, Gage Bertovich. Somebody's not here.
Crazy. I mean, this is now like the second or third time in the past month and a half, 2 months, he's just gone missing on us. Like, I think he's boots on the ground somewhere, but I wouldn't know where this.
I thought maybe he went up your way to Pittsburgh, boots on the ground. Considering the Packers don't have a pick till Friday, I thought maybe he would hold off, but maybe he's just so excited and went on early. I don't know.
Maybe he has like an inside thing that they're trading back into the first round.
Look, we broke scoop last week on here, and we'll get to it here in just a second. But
insane.
if he's out there now breaking some scoop saying the Packers are going to trade back into the first round, like, hop on here and just let us know. That's all we need to know. But we'll carry through without him here for now. He may hop on after a while, maybe live on location. Maybe Gage, he's still trying to recover. It was a rough weekend for him wrestling-wise, as Liv Morgan, who I don't think he's that big of a fan of, wins the women's world title. I don't know.
I mean, that very well could be. That's kind of the whole reason I have this picture up here, is just because Liv Morgan is his favorite wrestler, just on the roster in general, man or woman. He just is such a big fan of her. So I kind of thought I'd do this for him and just say, hey, way to go, celebrate you. I couldn't find a picture without this guy right here, but it's fine. But still, Liv is here and she's the new champion, which, hey, we're all excited about it, right?
Yeah, I should have said he's not a big Dom guy, which you tried to crop that out. But he's a huge Liv Morgan fan. He loved to see her win the title the other day. I'm pretty sure he sent me a few text messages about how pumped up he was during that. I had actually lost kind of focus during WrestleMania Saturday, Gage. Mm-hmm. And we might as well just go ahead and get to it right now. And the reason why I lost focus, about halfway through, I get a message from you that you're like, wait, what is going on? The Bengals, as talked about on this podcast last week before Saturday, we scooped it thanks to our boy Richard Johnson. Like I said, credible source, definitely credible source. And that's because he said the Bengals are trading the 10th pick in the draft to the Giants for Dexter Lawrence straight up. And that broke during WrestleMania Saturday. Actually, it broke last week, but it was official last Saturday during WrestleMania. Gage, what was your thoughts when you first seen this news here?
I think my thoughts were exactly how I put it in the message to you, and I just put, dude, screenshot. I could not believe it, and then I put some profanity afterwards, but basically Richard Johnson strikes. I could not believe it. Like, do we just take this guy's word for everything now?
I don't know. I tweeted him afterwards, and I'm like, dude, we broke your scoop last week on here. Thanks for that. Because we had it first, I know of.
Yeah, actually, we had it second.
We had it second.
We had to get it from somewhere.
Richard leaked it out, and we took it, and we ran with it.
All right.
There we go.
Richard Johnson was dead on when he said Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals for the 10th overall pick. I thought it was a satire account. I think we all thought it was a satire account. And then 2 days later, it's actually true. Like, we get the message during WrestleMania, which, good thing there was nothing exciting going on besides probably a Hulk Hogan documentary commercial. But it, blew my mind. I know it blew your mind, and everyone was just like, wow.
I had lost all focus on the WrestleMania. And it was a good thing because, nothing was going on. And I was just scrolling Twitter and everything, watching these sad Ravens fans. Like, those were the ones that were more sad than anything. And I'm like, I love it. And they're like, we still got Trey Henderson. I'm like, okay, whatever. What else you got? Big deal.
Well, now it's like you kind of look at those Bengals defense, and they may be, they can't really be any worse than what you were last year. No. But they've added some pieces. Dexter Lawrence. In the defensive backfield, you added Brian Cook and Kyle Duggar. Who else did you add? Because I know there was like
Sir Taylor,
him, and
Jonathan Allen.
Yeah, the
Boy
defensive
Mafe.
line. Boye Mafe was the other one I was trying to think of.
Yeah,
the defense is going to be much better, and with that offense, you might be able to put something together. Maybe actually be in line to potentially play for the division, play for a wild card game. And it's going to be a 3-team division again because we all know Cleveland won't be in it.
Oh, definitely Cleveland's not going to be in it. I mean, they still got Shadur Sanders as the quarterbacks. And you know the Ravens, they like to choke, so they're not going anywhere. But the thing is with this defense, like I seen the tackle Lawrence, whenever he got traded, they were talking about pressures that he's had since 2022 on the quarterback. He had like 109. Yep. The next closest person in the league, do you know what his number is?
I believe it was Vita Vea.
Vita Vea, yeah.
It was like 83 or something.
I think it was less than that. I think it was in the 40s.
That's insane.
And so if you get that guy getting pressure up the middle, that frees up. You're gonna make the rest of the defense look better at that point in time. Your ends, Boyd Mafe over here, your new linebackers back in there, your 2 rookies you had last year, Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight. They're going to look a lot better than they were. Miles Murphy, he may get a little run. Shamar Stewart, we may talk about Shamar Stewart a little bit. He may actually look like a decent player out there with Lawrence, maybe.
Okay, let's not push the barrel here at all.
Okay, I'll get a little excited. But he will make the rest of that defense look better. The linebackers, that's going to take pressures off of the defensive back because if you can get pressure on the quarterback, your corners don't have to cover as long. And if they don't have to cover as long, if you can just keep up with a wide receiver for 4 to 5 minutes or so, you're better off. So I think this is a win for the Bengals. You trade away the number 10 overall pick. We talked on here mock drafting. Caleb Downs, I would have liked to have had him. There's several other defensive players that would have been good. Yeah. None of those guys are proven. Dexter Lawrence has proven it. He's been an all-pro tackle. I really like this deal for the Bengals because we all know the Bengals, not really a good track record with their first-round draft picks. So if you get a guy that's proven like this, I'll take it. I like the deal. They extended him 1 extra year. He's got a 3-year deal now, $28 million, which is the same thing Trey Hendrickson signed with Baltimore for, $28 million a year. Kind of ironic there, isn't it? But, yeah, I like the deal for the Bengals. I really like this.
And if you want to look at it from the Giants side of things too, they now have 2 picks within the top 10. Now they got 5 and they got 10. You're already building a young squad. You got Jackson Dart at the helm, Cam Scadabo, hopefully not running his head purposely into people this year. You still got Malik Neighbors. You have the ability to get even younger on this, especially the offense side of things. If you go and draft, say, a Mekhi Lemon, for example, with one of those 2 picks, pair him up with Neighbors, that's going to be a deadly combo for this season, for next season, for however long they keep them. And so you use your other draft pick for something on the defensive side. Maybe they go and replace Sexy Dexy. Maybe they go and get a Caleb Downs or something like that to try to shore up that defense. They have to be looking at it like this guy didn't want to be here anyways, and now we got 2 top 10 picks. We'll take it.
Yeah, like you said, go out and get a Lemon, maybe Tyson. What if they did this, though? This could be a Giants thing they do with the top 5 pick. They go and they get Jeremiah Love. Now you've got 2-headed monster back there behind Dart. Then you've got Neighbors. I mean, you could go a lot of different directions here if you're the Giants. I like the deal for both of these teams actually here. People's always like, who won the trade? Who won the trade? We won't know for a little while. But right now, looking at it, I like this deal for both of them because the Bengals, all their guys were probably going to be gone by the time the 10th pick come that they wanted. And the Giants, Dexter Lawrence wanted out. We can go get a top 10 pick. Let's go do that. Let's try to improve our team even better. And plus, there's also rumors out there that John Harbaugh kind of wanted to stick it to the Ravens, and that's why Ravens fans are so upset. Football dude.
It would be kind of funny if that was the whole reason. Just like, yeah, we'll just trade him to my former division rival.
Right.
But it would also, you have to wonder if the Giants maybe do this. Maybe they trade away the number 5 pick. Maybe there's a team that wants to trade up to 5. Say Jeremiah Love does fall all the way down there for whatever reason. A team wants to trade up to get him or trade back into the first round if it was one of the 4 teams up front. Get him. And then the Giants just build more draft capital. Maybe they get a player out of it if they trade the number 5 away. I don't really know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. But it's tomorrow. And Gage, are you heading to the draft?
And not tomorrow night. I will be heading down though Friday for the draft day, I guess, because I'm going to take a half day at work, leave at noon, 1 o'clock or so, and then just head down for the entire night. pray that my phone keeps a charge for the entire time, have my portable charger with me, and we'll be good to go. Have some fun, drink a lot of beer, and just have ourselves a night. I'll try to vlog it a little bit, but no guarantees, especially if my phone battery doesn't last. But that's beside the point.
Yeah, we'll have boots on the ground there Friday. Like, we may have boots on the ground there right now, but we still are MIA with Gordo and Gage. So that's the NFL part of this podcast we've got here so far. We're going to transition a little UFL here in just a second. Do you have anything else you want to add here to the trade that the Bengals made? You know, I've said this all offseason. I'll say it right now. Mike Brown, I've maybe put even up here on here a banner that says fire Zach, fire Duke. I may even put up my background on here one time, fire Zach, fire Duke, save Burrow. Now I could say Duke Tobin completely proved me wrong. He went out and he's made some signings. He made a big splash deal right here. Keep Zach, keep Duke. I don't know about the first one. We'll see about that one. But keep Duke for now. They're out here swinging for it, and that should show everybody that, hey, Joe Burrow's not going to Minnesota, guys. Stop sending me these things on Instagram.
He still might.
Stop showing those on Instagram. I don't want to see any more Joe Burrow for the 9 and the Minnesota's first-round draft pick. It's not happening. Stop it. Let's move on. Okay. So,
especially now that they got Kyler, it's definitely not happening.
Yeah. Because, I mean, would you really want Joe Burrow that you got Kyler Murray there? I mean, come on.
No, but I know some other teams that would want a Joe Burrow, like a Tennessee, maybe a New Orleans. That give someone to mentor Shuck. Hey, maybe he goes to Houston because CJ Stroud had a down year.
Yeah. Let's move on from that right now.
Maybe he goes to Cleveland, and they just have 2 really high-paid quarterbacks on the team.
Thought you were going to say maybe he goes to Pittsburgh because you don't know what you're all doing. Yeah. You wouldn't take Joe Burrow right now?
No, because I don't know what they would want for a trade, and I don't even know if we could afford Burrow.
That's fair. If you could afford Burrow.
If we could afford Burrow, maybe.
You guys got Will Howard.
I like Will Howard. I hate Ohio State, but I love Will Howard.
Oh, all right. So our UFL picks last week. You went 3-1. Gordon went 1-3. I stay consistent at 2-2. Gage, overall, you're 7-1. Gordon's dropped down to me down here at 4-4, and I am rocking with 4-4 after my 500 games again. So we've picked 2 weeks out of the 4 so far. And Gage, you are just crushing it. The only game you missed was the Storm and the Stallions because,
what was that?
I have no idea. Yeah, 16-0. The only game I really didn't pay a whole bunch of attention to. The Storm are still undefeated in the UFL. Like, nobody's seen that coming. And we talked last week. They haven't really played anybody. I thought the Stallions were decent. Obviously, I was wrong because that's not good right there. And
no,
we'll get to a few trades here in a minute. That probably the reason why. This is probably the reason why they made these trades. The Defenders, they defeat the Battlehawks 28-22, and really wasn't as close as what the final score indicates, I didn't think.
No, this was definitely a get-back game for DC. It was the first time that Jordan Ta'amu didn't turn the ball over in a game, which was a big advancement. Now, he's not really putting up the numbers that we're accustomed to seeing from him, but it's completely fine when you've only lost 1 game this season. Deion Jackson for DC as well, just running the heck out of the ball. He's been great all season so far. Cornell Powell, receiving-wise, last week went 7 for 85. I kind of wish we had Lucky Jackson to pair them up together. Kind of sucks that we don't. The one, not even really a bad thing, I guess you want to call it, but defensive side of the ball, you let Hakeem Butler go 2 for 109 and a touchdown on you, but he took a screen pass like 75 yards. Yeah. So I was like, okay, whatever. But all in all, great game. Ta'amu over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like I said, no turnovers. Harrison Frost 144, interception, touchdown. I believe DC got 2 safeties on him, if I remember correctly. At least one. I think there was a second one too. But all in all, great game. And like you said, the score is not nearly as close as what the game actually was.
No, it wasn't. And you mentioned Hakeem Butler one catch, 75 yards, and a touchdown on that one. That guy's, kind of underutilized for the Battle Hawks, actually, I would think. How do you get that guy involved more? He's like 6'5".
But yeah, the defensive wise, great job overall, though. You let up 22 points. It is what it is. It's a lot easier to score more points in this league now that you have the option for the 4-point field goal. Now that you have the option to go for 1, 2, or 3 points after a touchdown. So you let up 22. It's like, oh, you let up a lot. It was a close game. In reality, it wasn't.
Yeah, the score was a lot closer than it was. The Defenders are probably looking like the best team in the UFL at this point in time. And that's because, actually, hold on, we'll save that for last. The next game we'll talk about, the Kings beat the Gamblers in overtime. After we talk about the overtime rules being changed, the controversy about the week before with the Kings fall, their very next game, they go to OT with the worst team in the UFL, the Gamblers, and they beat them in overtime at their place. Yeah, this was not the greatest game to watch. Jason Bean, we'll talk about him here in a little bit. He made some headlines. 3rd and goal, and he scrambles over to the right. And what was that slide, Gage, that he was trying there? I think this is probably the reason why he's no longer on the team. Like I said, we'll get to it in a minute. But that was bad.
It was a little more than just bad because, like you said, what in the world was he trying to do? Maybe he just didn't have practice. Sliding much, didn't really have to do it in college, hasn't really had to do it in any type of professional football league because he just was never a starter. So, okay, I can kind of understand, but come on, man, you got to at least make it look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that was just a really bad effort there, but you talk about players that we talked about. Hakeem Butler just a little bit ago doesn't really seem to get a whole lot of targets. Do you know how many targets Lucky Jackson had on Friday night in that game?
I can tell you how many catches he had. I don't know how many targets he had.
He had 1 catch for 41 yards.
Yeah.
2 targets. That's it. 2 targets. How does that even happen?
And being through the ball 34 times. How do you only get Lucky 2 targets, but you get Peyton 8 targets who only caught the ball 3 times?
It doesn't make any sense at all. Kings, big win, their first win in franchise history. Congratulations to them. I don't know if we really, celebrate that or not. Gage, before we get into the last game and probably the biggest shocker of the UFL season so far, I want to go over a few trades, okay?
Yeah.
After the game was over with on Sunday, maybe not a big trade for my team as it was on Saturday with the Dexter Lawrence trade, but the Kings trade starting quarterback Jason Bean to the DC Defenders for quarterback Mike DeLilio, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Delilah. Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in DC Nation? I don't really know.
1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight you're a king. Anyways. I guess I was like, man, I need some information on this guy. I know Chandler Rogers is going to be the starting quarterback for now, which he's had a few spots where he's come in and played for Bean. The reason why Bean got traded, 17 for 34 the other day passing, I said Bean's not the guy. I mean, it looks like he's got a little bit of talent, but when he done that scramble and that slide, that's probably what done him in. So I like this trade for the Kings only because I don't think Jason Bean is a starting quarterback in this league. So why not go and try to get rid of him and get something else in?
So would you like some numbers about this Mike Delilah? He started college in 2018 with Florida Tech, 2018 to 2019. From 2020 to 2021, he was with Middle Tennessee. And then from 2022 to 2023 with Austin Peay. Middle Tennessee, for whatever reason, the Sports Reference for college stats only has stats under Middle Tennessee. 2020-2021, he played 13 games, completed 60% of passes for 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Was a bit of a runner, 51 total carries for 270 yards and 6 touchdowns. But I'm trying to find the stats here from Austin Peay real quick. 2022 and 2023 played in 23 total games, completed 243 out of 649 passes. Where did the rest of the stats go? Why are we in season highs? I don't really know what just happened to the Austin Peay football website.
The fly's open. Let's go Peay, right?
But he had 60, I want to say it was 63 touchdowns to 29 interceptions, maybe. let's not look at the competition that he faced there, but good stats there.
So this guy's going to be a backup, right? Obviously, right
Yeah.
now. Chandler Rogers is getting the start, and we'll see how that goes for him because before we get into some other trades, the Kings are out here making moves like crazy. They released running back Benny Snell, who ran the ball 8 times for 6 yards. I hated it, but Benny just doesn't have it anymore. Also, they released starting left tackle Leroy Watson and starting left guard Nash Jensen. So that left side of the offensive line is going to be revamped because they had 100% of the snaps for the season. And after 4 games, they're like, nope, we're not doing this again. You guys are out. I see this and I'm like, what is going on in Louisville?
Were they really that bad with the offensive line that they're like, yeah, we're going to release the people that were our starters for the entire season so far?
If you remember, after week 1, they fired their offensive line coach. Now they're firing the offensive line and one of the running backs. So yeah. I don't know what is going on in Louisville right now, but we'll see if that works out for them. Bold strategy for Louisville here to just scrap everything. They've been competitive in every game is the problem. So I don't know why start from scratch.
Are you a fan of any of those releases? Are you like, what are we doing? Like, what are your thoughts as a Kings fan?
Kind of like, what are we doing with the tackles, the line? They've started 100% of the game so far. They've got that continuity there. You usually get better throughout the season. Mm-hmm. They still haven't run the ball well. Benny Snell, that release, it hurts me because he's a former Pittsburgh Steeler there. And I just wanted him to just get another chance to do good, and he just has not proven it this year. So that one personally bothers me, but I get why he's no longer a part of the team.
Yeah, and I wanted him to get in the end zone at least one more time so we could see the mouthpiece spin. But honestly, no one else has that type of mouthpiece, and I love it. I think it's the coolest thing in that if I played college football, pro football, I would absolutely find a spinny mouthpiece and use it. It may look stupid, but it is so cool.
It's cool as can be. But, yeah, I hated to end the line for him. I think it's probably the end of his pro football playing days. I don't think he's going to get another chance anywhere else. This was his last shot, and unfortunately it's over for Benny, but that bums me out. But the other ones, I don't know, man. I don't know about just getting rid of everybody mid-season like this, especially your line and your line coach. And I don't know. I just don't know the strategy here.
Yeah, it's not like you're getting rid of backups. You got rid of the 2 people who started the entire season, played 100% of snaps on the left side of your line, and you're like,
quarterback's blind spot right there. You're getting rid of these 2 guys and starting over from scratch mid-season.
And now you have even a new quarterback behind there too. That's like, I have no idea. I have no chemistry at all with any of these people. What?
It's crazy. So we'll see how it works out for him. But another trade here, and that would be the Birmingham Stallions trade Matt Corral and Amani Bledsoe to the Orlando Storm for quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson. This probably has something to do with the Stallions getting blanked the other day by the Storm. So they go out and they get DTR. What do you think about DTR going to the Stallions here to be starting quarterback and save A.J. McCarron's job?
I like it. I didn't think DTR was a horrible quarterback by any sorts of the imagination in the NFL. When you're with the Browns, you really don't get much of a chance. We've seen that, Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders, DTR, all these guys that there's potential, but it's going to go untapped because you're in Cleveland. Go into the UFL, and I can't believe DTR wasn't the starter from day one for them. So him going to a team where he's going to become the number 1, maybe, I like it. I like it for him, and it might turn the Stallion season around.
I didn't think the Stallions were all that bad, like I said, until last week's game against the Storm, and it's like, okay, maybe there's some more going on here. Amani Bledsoe, where do I know him from? Where have I seen him before? I know Matt Corral or Matt Corral, whoever types these graphics. I mean, we've got to do something with the graphics guy around here. But anyways,
We gotta like fire that guy or something.
We gotta do something with it. Anyways, I know him. He went to Ole Miss. He's one of them Ole Miss quarterbacks. Really not lighting it up a whole lot in the UFL. But Monty Bledsoe, I've heard that name somewhere. Gage, where have I heard this name?
Because in 2020 he was actually a Cincinnati Bengal.
That's it. That's where I know him from.
Played 14 games, stood 4, had 2 pass deflections, and 17 tackles. And then in 2021, he went to Tennessee, had 1 tackle.
And that was the end of Amani Bledsoe's football career in the NFL. But he's sticking around. He's with the Orlando Storm now. So he's on a team that's undefeated. And so was Matt Corral. Or Carl.
I was going to say Matt Carroll.
Matt Carroll. Dallas Renegades trade quarterback Luis Perez to the Battlehawks. The reason why they traded Perez is because Austin Reed has been pretty decent for this first stretch of the year. Gage, what are your thoughts on Luis Perez going to the Battlehawks in a blockbuster trade here for the UFL?
It probably the biggest trade in UFL history. If I had to say, Luis Perez is nicknamed the Spring King for a reason. Before this season, he was the starter. And was pretty freaking good. In 2025, he completed 224 of 313 passes. What's that? Looks like he is. Or no, he's in Green Bay. Actually.
Green Bay.
I think I'll just start over before the Richard Johnson beating happened. Yeah, Perez going to the Battlehawks might be the biggest trade just in UFL history. Back in 2025, he completed 224 of 313 passes across 10 games, 71.6 completion percentage, 2,294 yards. This guy is a starting quarterback. He just fell into a hard time this season, competing against Austin Reed. Reed's been lighting it up, and the Battlehawks, they need a guy. And they got their guy right now with Luis Perez. Great trade for him. I don't even know what they got back for Perez. It might have been like a tackle or something like that.
I think so.
Depending on how Perez works out, this trade might be very lopsided for St. Louis.
If they got a cold 6-pack, it's a bonus.
And throw in a pack of smokes with it too, and just shake everything up.
Go. So we went over some trades in the NFL, or we went over the big trade in the NFL already. We're hitting UFL trades. We've already hit those. We've hit 3 of the 4 games. We've saved the biggest upset in the UFL season for right now. And what a perfect time to bring it up. The Columbus Aviators upset the Dallas Renegades 28-14. Guys, what a massive upset in this one here. The Aviators had a game plan. Todd Haley come up with a game plan where they were like, we're just going to run it straight down your throat, and you're not going to be able to stop us. And they sure didn't. Gordon, how does it feel for your team to get their first UFL win of the season against the best team in the UFL?
I feel like a winner and did it by the rules, unlike the person standing in the picture behind Gage there, who can't do nothing on her own. Anyway, hey, I didn't say you. I said the one in the picture behind you.
Listen, you already missed it. Because on location and stuff. We already talked about how Liv Morgan is secretly your favorite wrestler on the entire roster. And, no one likes Dirty Dom, but we all know how much you just adore this beautiful face right here of Liv Morgan, who is your new champion.
No. Not to mention, she's way too young for me. I've got 2 daughters older than her. I got 2 daughters that are in their 30s. They're both older than her.
So
hey, no. Liv is in her 30s. She's 31.
My daughters are, I think, 33. No,
right,
32. 32. My bad, 32.
Fair enough. All right. Understood.
So, this is the biggest upset of the season, guys, by far.
Yeah, by far.
And the way they done it, they dominated them, too, like on the ground. Austin Reed, he only had like 150 yards or 140 yards passing, something like that. Love it. The running back for the Aviators, 80 yards rushing. And like I said, they just did whatever they wanted to on the ground. And they were just like, stop us. We're going to smash you in the mouth, and we're going to see if you can stop us. And they did not. Todd Haley, maybe he should be the head coach, right?
Hey,
for UFL, yes, not NFL. But comparing to what they have, like I said, I'm not going to say nothing too bad about Ted Ginn. He isn't a former Ohio State Buckeye. He was a great wide receiver for Ohio State. the man is quicker than a hiccup. As far as coaching, he doesn't leave a little to be desired. He leaves a lot. I mean, to quote an old ESPN broadcaster, he inhales briskly.
Well, this result shocked me more than any result so far in UFL this season. Aviators get the first win. Everybody is now on the board in the NFL. The only undefeated team is the Storm. Somehow, I still don't see how they're undefeated. We didn't see that last week either, but we're going to get into our picks for the UFL here. Guys, let's go ahead and let's start out on Friday night. And it is the DC Defenders going to Birmingham to face the Birmingham Stallions, the new look Birmingham Stallions with their new quarterback, DTR. 8 o'clock on Fox. DC's a 6.5-point favorite. I'll go ahead and go first and pick here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm picking the Defenders to win this one. They have been the team that's looked the best the last few weeks of the season. They've got things rolling there. The Stallions, they just traded for DTR. He hasn't had a full week with them yet. They got blanked last week at home to the Storm. I think the Defenders are better than the Storm. Give me DC to win this game, and I think DC covers. Gordon, what do you think?
Well, you're right. I was on location. I'll get to the questions that I had to ask because I couldn't find none of the players you want me to interview. So I'll get to the I talked to some fans and I got some answers. Well, actually, I got no answers, but I'll give you the questions I gave because I wasn't going to ask them about football because they're fans of the UFL. They don't know too much about football. Anyway, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that out loud. I got the Defenders winning, but in the shocking thing, they're not going to cover. I'm predicting the 3-point game. I'm predicting DTR is going to run a lot, which that's something he can do. He can't throw for shit, but he can run.
Yeah. And like me and Gage talked about, he wasn't bad in Cleveland. He was just in Cleveland.
Right. Anybody's in Cleveland, you can't really hold it against them.
You can't really judge him there.
That must mean Baker Mayfield must be a bad mamma jamma because he actually got him in the playoffs.
Yeah. So we're both rolling Defenders. I've got them covering. Gordon does not. Gage, what do you think about your Defenders this Friday night?
I don't know if this is like because of being a Steelers fan, but it always feels like my favorite teams, whenever they're going against someone's kind of a short week a little bit, and maybe a new look team, my team just goes in there and they're like, we got this in the bag, and then they end up dropping it. I'm not saying that's going to happen this week, but don't be surprised if it does. However, I am going to roll with the Defenders, but I do think Birmingham covers the 6.5. 6.5 in the UFL, it is a lot to try to get. I mean, we just saw 28-22 last week between the Defenders and the Battlehawks, and the game really wasn't as close as the box showed. So give me the Defenders. Birmingham covers, and Defenders are still the best team in the league.
And we go on to Saturday, and we've got the St. Louis Battlehawks traveling to face the undefeated Orlando Storm at 7 o'clock on ESPN. Orlando is a 3-point favorite. Gordon, who do you like in this matchup here?
The Storm is due for a loss. They've been cutting her close. Well, maybe not as close as the scoreboard said when they faced, my team, but my team inhales briskly. So give me the Battlehawks to be the road dog, Jesse James, and take out the Storm. Give them their first loss of the year.
Gage, what do you think?
So funny enough, I'm kind of in agreement with that, and I don't like that just looking at our pick records, but I'm going to have to roll with Gordo here, especially the new look Battlehawks. Luis Perez, I expect to start this week over Silvers or anybody else in that quarterback room. Perez is going to light it up and show why maybe he should have been given the chance to be the starter with his original team. Give me the Battlehawks in this one, as it's going to be the underdog pick of the week.
Battlehawks go out. They make a deal for Luis Perez. They played the Defenders close last week. The Storm blanked the Stallions. There is no way, no logical way that the Orlando Storm with Jack Plummer from Louisville is the last undefeated team left in the UFL. No way this makes any sense at all. So that being said, the Battlehawks with Perez come into Orlando and they take out the Storm. I'm rolling with you guys right here. Give me the Battlehawks to go on the road and to beat Orlando, and they cover that spread because they are the road dog, Jesse James.
Let's see. The old plumber that was in the NFL, that was Jake the Snake, right?
Yep.
Jack
now I guess we got Jack the Whack.
Yeah, Jack from Louisville. I don't think they're any relation. Anyways.
Jack and Whacking.
We go to Sunday. We've already talked about Richard Johnson on this program.
Yeah, double dip.
Sunday we go. The Columbus Aviators travel to Houston to face the Houston Gamblers at 12 on ABC. Columbus is a 4.5 point favorite on the road. Gage, the Aviators, can they keep the momentum up against these Texas teams and beat the Gamblers?
I think this is going to be a very close game. I kind of saw the way Gordo's head was going there, and I have a feeling I know what he's going to pick with this one. We are taking the favorite, all right? Just so that's thrown out there. So if I say it wrong again, you could be like, no, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, it's in Houston, so you expect home field advantage, blah, blah, blah. Aviators kind of on a roll right now. I like them as the favorite here at 4.5. I'm going to take them to win, but I'm going to take Houston to cover. I think it's going to be a 3 or 4 point game in this one.
Yeah, the Aviators last week, shock of the season. They beat the best team in the league. Now they're facing the worst team in the league. The Gamblers are not very good whatsoever. They did beat the Stallions, as we were talking about. We didn't think the Stallions were that bad. That is the Gamblers' only win. So, I don't know. Maybe the Stallions aren't that great. The Aviators, keep doing the game plan you ran last week. Do that once again. Run it down their throats. If you do that, I think you win this game. But I think the Gamblers will cover that spread, though. I think it'll be a tight game throughout. Gordon, give me the Aviators to keep the streak alive and to beat the Gamblers. What do you think, Gordon?
Well, no, actually, you got to have 2 to start a streak, so
you're
picking them to start one.
They're going to start one.
Don't
let the Aviators get hot. You know what I'm saying?
Is Ted Ginn going to be drunk or on the sidelines?
It's in Houston, so, I mean, they're back in Texas, and we know what happened the last time he was in Texas. So
Okay, so there's a good chance.
Yes.
With that in mind, I'm going to roll with you, but a little different. I'm actually going to pick them to win and cover.
Nice.
They're going to win by 6.
Go.
And I think going into this one, the question is, who the heck is going to be the quarterback for the Gamblers? Is it going to be Tagovailoa or is it going to be Henderson? Because they both played last week and they both looked awful. So I don't really know.
Okay, give it to his little brother again. They showed him quite a bit last week during the game.
Just let Tua be there, inspire his brother. Say, you can suck this good too.
They could just let him throw some pads on and say, get out there.
Oh, gosh. He would be concussed by the end of the first play. And the final game of the weekend, the Louisville Kings travel to Dallas to face the Dallas Renegades. 3 o'clock on ABC. Dallas is a 7.5 point favorite. Gordon, what do you think here?
Renegades got exposed last week. If you couldn't run the ball and block halfway decent, you can beat them. I know you're shaking your head, but obviously my team sucks and they did it, right?
You missed the segment earlier where the Kings released Benny Snell, their starting left tackle, and their starting left guard because they can't run. And they trade their starting quarterback away, too.
Okay, well, whatever. I'm still going to take them. I'm taking the Louisville Kings, but not the cover.
Okay. Well, upsetting Dallas. Gage, what do you think?
And, for all the trash talk that Benny Snell gets, he's the Kings rushing leader right now. So, I don't know what to tell you. He had 72 rushing yards in the season.
And that's the leader through 4 games.
That is the leader through 4 games, according to FoxSports.com. So if that's wrong, don't yell at me. Yeah, Lucky Jackson, you got to get him the ball more. We talked about that earlier. The dude cannot have 1 catch and 2 targets. You got to give him minimum 5 catches in a game. Give him double-digit targets if you got to. Feed that guy the ball. But I don't think it's going to happen this week. Like you said, Renegades, they did get exposed last week. But the Kings can't run the ball. Their leading rusher got released from the team. So give me Dallas in this one, and they're going to cover the 7.5.
Yeah, so Benny Snell has 72 yards on the season, leads the Kings. For context here, last week, Gordon's running back, John Lovett, had 80 yards rushing in 1 game. So my team cannot run the ball. They got rid of Jason Bean. The Chandler Rogers era has begun in Louisville. I guess you've got James Robinson now starting running back, and I have no idea what we're doing at line.
Is he related to Double Aaron?
I don't think so. I believe they are probably different. How should I put this without sounding I don't believe they've got the same
Family
genealogy. Tree? Yeah, family tree. We'll go with that. And
I'm just kidding.
And anyways, but they can't run the ball. Like you said, the Renegades got exposed, but I think there's going to kind of be a little revenge game for them. The Kings defense has been pretty good, but I think Austin Reed's going to have a bounce back game this time. I think the Renegades will win this game, but I think the Kings will somewhat keep it close because of that defense, but we lose because we can't run the ball once again. Give me the Renegades. Give me the Kings slight cover.
Just for reference, without Benny Snell, the leading rusher for Louisville is James Robinson. 1 game, 7 attempts for 19 yards and a touchdown.
What was Jason Bean? What was his rushing? He may have led the team.
He is no longer listed under the stats for the Kings, so I don't know.
Yeah, have to go to the defenders. He's your problem now.
Gee, thanks.
We talked about it earlier. The NFL draft begins in Pittsburgh starting tomorrow. Gage, boots on the ground on Friday. Jordan, you mentioned that you had some questions earlier. You want to go ahead right now?
Yeah, you sent me, text me some questions. You wanted me to ask some players if I saw them. I didn't see no players. So I had to come up with questions to ask, the fans and stuff like that. And not a single one, I didn't get an answer. So, I mean, I asked them the hard-hitting questions, like how much would woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, and I just got shoulder shrugs. I said, why do they call it a building if it's already built? How does a sponge hold water if it's full of holes? I tell you what, no one can answer my questions.
You had the hard-hitting questions, it seems like there.
Yes, I did.
I appreciate you. I appreciate the effort you gave on that.
Thank you.
So I'm no longer excited about the draft. After Saturday, maybe Friday, I'll be back into it. But tomorrow, really, might not even turn it on. Whatever.
So I feel like not that long ago, we were making fun of the Packers for not having a first-round draft pick.
They got Micah Parsons.
Yeah, we got Micah Parsons for that first-round pick, so I think it was well worth it.
I got Sexy Dexy, so.
But now only one of us has a first-round draft pick, and I'm all for it. I get to enjoy watching 3 hours of Roger Goodell coming up back and forth and talking.
Before he gets to your pick.
Before he gets to my pick. I might fall asleep before Pittsburgh pick comes up, but we're looking forward to it.
And with the 21st pick in the NFL draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Ty Simpson, quarterback, Alabama.
I didn't know if you were going to pause and let me say who I wanted them to pick, or if you were just going to go into it.
I just had to go in for it before you jumped in, because I know you wouldn't have went with that.
Oh, come on. You don't know who I would have went with.
It wouldn't have been Ty Simpson, I'm sure.
No, it definitely would have been me trying to pronounce that Penn State offensive lineman's name again. And even though I was corrected on that by Dalton a couple weeks ago, I still would have gotten it wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dalton's not here to help you out. And I ain't helping you out on that because I can't do it either. Mike Tomlin. Oh,
go ahead.
Well, you had something on the draft there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was sitting there looking at the mock draft boards.
Mm-hmm.
In the third round, they got my team drafting a cornerback. But it was not someone on my list. On my list gets picked a few picks later by Pittsburgh. The next pick by Pittsburgh. That Conte Scott from Miami.
Yeah.
They got them drafting him. My team drafting someone I think you're from the Big 12 and not Texas Tech.
I really want Scott, and I think third round's good value for him as well. But all in all, just really looking forward to the draft. Obviously, it being in Pittsburgh, but not only that, I don't know how this is going to go. So I know what your questions are going to be. I might be hanging out with a couple Navy football players because they are friends with one of my coworkers at work, Alex Tuska and Eli Heidenreich. I don't know. Don't ask me to try to get them on.
Heidenreich?
Yeah. I'll see about getting them on the show. I can't promise anything, but we're looking forward to a day of fun-filled football. Hopefully no fights and drinking a lot of beer and eating a lot of food.
Sounds like the perfect Friday night. Gage,
like
speaking of Pittsburgh, your former head coach Mike Tomlin is joining NBC as a studio analyst. What are your thoughts?
Well, that didn't take him long. And I really feel like his predictions, picks that he does, whatever, he's somehow going to end up 9-8. somehow 9-8, 10-7, and it's
no
going to continue the Mike Tomlin way.
There's no doubt. Let's pencil that in right now. He's 9-8 every week.
At least he don't have a losing record.
That's right.
At least he doesn't have a losing record.
He'll never have a losing record. That's the thing there. So, we've hit some football there. Now we're going to hit on baseball. Gordon, we talked about this last week before, and I asked you what your prediction was, and you said you could see a sweep. Well, by golly, guess what the Reds did to Minnesota? They swept the Twins, and this is like the second weekend in a row we've done this, and they've swept. Now, they face the Tigers this weekend. Friday night, you've got Andrew Abbott pitching for the Reds, and you got Valdez pitching for the Tigers. What are your thoughts? Do you think that the Reds can pull off another sweep? This is at Cincinnati. Saturday, Brandon Phillips has signed a one-day contract to retire as a Red and go into the Reds Hall of Fame.
Cargill?
Yeah, Mr. Cargill. So what do you guys think? I mean, what do you think, Gordon? Do you think that the Reds can get 2 out of 3 or sweep the Tigers this weekend?
As much as of course, you always know there's always a sweep possible. I mean, there is a shot at it. But the most likely scenario is they will win 2 of 3. They will win the series. They can't do it every weekend that I picked. I mean,
so far 2 for 2.
Well, Detroit. I mean, they got decent pitching from what I've noticed.
Valdez
I looked down online,
good.
decent. So I think the most likely thing is 2 out of 3. Hey, but winning the series is still good. It's not as good as a sweep. You get it.
Yeah, it is. I was going to pick a 2 out of 3. I was hoping you pick a sweep again because so far you're 2 for 2. And if you done that, I'd be like, oh, yes, he's doing it again. Yes, be ready. But what I do, so Friday, the Reds wear their black City Connect uniforms, which I like pretty well. What are your thoughts on the all red City Connect uniforms? I really like them.
I actually prefer the all red versus the all black. I do. Because not only it looks like traditional Cincinnati gear. And I'm all about, I love the traditional shit in baseball and football and stuff.
Yeah, the oldest professional baseball team, the Cincinnati Reds.
No, actually, the first professional baseball team. They're the first team to actually pay their players to play. The first professional baseball team, the Cincinnati Reds.
That's it. And I like the tradition too. I like the red as well. I didn't know how I'd like them before. Gage, what do you think about your Pirates City Connect uniforms? I actually like those pretty well too.
I love these City Connect uniforms, especially when you compare them to last season's. I think these ones blow it out of the water. They actually look piratey. You got the pirate type of font. The patch looks piratey. Everything about it just looks
old
so
pirate
good.
logo.
The old pirate logo. Everything's just so clean with it. And I looked into getting a jersey, and then I saw the price and said no. To get a City Connect jersey off of Fanatics with, I believe it's Skeens, Cruz, Roberto Clemente, and there might be one more, maybe a Brian Reynolds. Those are the only 4 they actually have that have names on it. It is $200 before shipping and taxes. I'm good.
Ooh.
Nope. I'm good.
Yeah.
No,
I'll just admire them from far at that point.
Yeah. I have a camo one that doesn't have any name on it. I'm good. I'll keep that.
So your Pirates, they're actually playing a divisional game this weekend, a divisional series this weekend against the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee. What do you think about the Pirates this weekend, Gage, and their series against the Brewers?
Let's just start off with the NL Central is the best division in football right now, or baseball.
Yeah, by far.
Like every team is above 500. The Pirates currently sit in last at 13-10. You got the 14-10 Cardinals. You got the 13-9 Brewers, the 14-9 Cubs, the 16-9 Reds at top there. I should have seen that coming. But when would you have expected that to happen? Especially for this division that we all said, Reds and Pirates are going to be 4th and 5th, battling for the basement spot. No team's going to be above 500 between those two. You'll have the Cubs, Brewers, and Cards at the top 3, maybe barely above 500. Right now, they're all doing good, and I hate it because the Pirates are actually having an okay year.
They're having an okay year, and so is everybody else in the division. Yeah. That's the problem.
It's like you look at the rest of the divisions, every other division has at least one team under 500. Why can't we be in that one?
Every other division has at least 2 teams under 500.
Even worse.
Every other one. 6 divisions, 5 of them have 2 teams or more under 500.
Like, what is going on?
It's craziness.
But looking forward to this coming weekend in Milwaukee, actually looking at the probable pitchers right now is kind of interesting. Milwaukee has all their pitchers announced. Brandon Woodruff on Friday. The Miz, Jacob Mizorowski on Saturday. Kyle Harrison on Sunday. The Pirates haven't announced anybody. They are all to be determined. So I don't know if they're maybe planning on a bullpen game at some point. Maybe, I don't know, a Mason Montgomery opens up one of the games and Carmen Mlodzinski comes in long relief. I don't think that'll happen because I think he just pitched last night or the night before. But they got to get through these games here against the Rangers. Tonight, top of the 5th. Last I saw, I believe Pittsburgh was down 2-1. Jack Leiter against Braxton Ashcraft. Tomorrow is going to be another big one. Jacob deGrom and Bubba Chandler facing off against each other. It's really hard to predict the Brewers series, especially not knowing who your starting pitcher is going to be. You have to think Skeens is going to pitch one of them. He last pitched on Saturday for Bobblehead Day. After that, maybe Mitch Keller. I don't know outside of that. I've been very good on predictions so far for Pittsburgh, so I'm going to say they take 2 out of 3 again this weekend. Hopefully they get a sweep. That'd be cool, but I'd be okay with 2 out of 3 as well.
Do you guys want Kyle Nicholas back?
No, keep him. I'm very upset he didn't give up 10 runs last night.
I know. You texted me that, and I'm like, hey, sit down there in the basement and look up at us, okay? How about that? How about that, pal?
And then for the Reds fans here, I know when we talk about fantasy sports, it's always fantasy football. Never really talked to fantasy baseball, but I'm going to. I made a trade to get Eugenio Suarez at my corner position because I need a third baseman. And I'm giving up. Might be a little much right now, but Ramon.
From turf to tears, it's injury fears. Who's sidelined this week? Engages fantasy sphere.
Funny enough, we actually have 4 players injured right now that we'll get to after this. But giving up Ramon Laureano, the outfielder for San Diego, 4 bombs, a 259 average this season so far, 315 OBP, and Brent Rooker, outfielder for the A's, who he's been injured for a week and a half. No timetable for return. Yeah, he's got the power. Last year, 30 home runs, batted 262. But this season so far, only 2 homers, batting 146. And I just needed a third baseman. My third baseman right now, actually just picked this guy up the other day. Daniel Schneemann for the Guardians. He qualifies for every position except for first base and catcher. And then we got Murakami as well. He's a streaky guy. He'll hit you home runs and he'll strike out. You don't really know who's going to show up. Outside of that, we don't have a third baseman. We had Alec Baum. We dropped him. But since you want to talk about injuries and who's injured on Gage's fantasy team, we could start out with Brent Rooker, who we're trading away. Alejandro Kirk, the catcher for the Blue Jays, who has not played in the last 2 weeks. There's no update on him. Go to the pitching position. Carlos Estevez, supposed to be closer for the Royals. He has pitched a third of an inning so far this season and has a 162 ERA with an 18 whip. And then also Garrett Clevenger, setup man for the Rays, 2 1/3 innings, 1 win, 3 Ks, 2 holds, a 7.71 ERA, and a 3 whip. He also has not pitched in the last 2 weeks. Don't know what's going on with neither of those guys, and I can't believe I still have a guy like Carlos Estevez with his 162 runs given up, apparently. But we currently sit... No, not good at all. But we currently sit in second place. We needed a little bit of a boost to the team, and I kind of figured I have enough outfielders. Let's give up one. Let's bring ourselves in a guy who is going to hit bombs. He may not have the best batting average, but he'll provide you power. Why not?
So... guys, I dropped something a while ago. You guys didn't even catch it. I'm kind of disappointing both of you. You mentioned Friday or Saturday that the Brewers were pitching the Miz, and I said, he's awesome. Just saying I left that out there for you guys, and nobody picked it up. I'm kind of disappointed in you guys.
I didn't hear that. I thought, now that I'm thinking about it, I did hear that. At first thought you said he's my favorite, but now thinking about it, you wouldn't say that about a Brewers pitcher. So.
No, definitely.
Actually, no, I didn't hear it. I missed it.
Anyways, Gage. The Flyers lead the Pens 2-0. They win both games in Pittsburgh. They're down right now, I think 3-1. How are you feeling?
Not very good. My coworker, one of them at work, is a Flyers fan, and all this week, he keeps saying about how he's flyered up for the series, whatever that means, you weirdo. But they come into Pittsburgh for the first 2 games of the first round of Stanley Cup playoffs. They win both games 3-2 and 3-0. Pittsburgh scores the first goal tonight in Philly. They have their first lead of the series, and then Philly came back, scored 3 unanswered goals. And I just got to say, you guys will probably see the video clip on social media. Sidney Crosby took a stick to the face tonight. He was going to line up before the face-off. Philly guy, I don't know what he was doing. It looked like he was just like rolling his wrist. Definitely unintentional. I will give him that. But his stick came up, whacked Crosby underneath the nose. Crosby went down. The Flyer player got a 2-minute penalty for, I assume, high sticking, because that would make sense. And then Crosby got a 2-minute penalty for embellishment. I'm sorry. If you take a stick to the nose underneath your mask where there's no protection, you're going to go down.
Yeah.
You're going to go down. So it should have been a power play for Pittsburgh. Should have been 5-on-4. Instead, we got the Flyer refs in here making it 4-on-4. They're going to get rid of Crosby. Flyers will take that. They will take the switch. I forget who it was for Philly that got called the penalty on. But you trade Crosby for whoever that guy is, Philly wins that. And it just irritates me. And I'm not going to let my coworker get under my skin, even though it already has. And they're down 3-1. Just started the third period. I almost thought it was about to be 4-1 as I was saying that. And I'm just not, it's not going well. I was all ready for a very fun Pittsburgh sports weekend. The Pirates go and lose this past Saturday in a 6-hour, 8-hour game, whatever the heck it was, to the Rays in a rain delay. After Paul Skeens goes 4 perfect innings, the bullpen comes in and blows it. The Penguins blow it by losing 3-2. And then you have the Penguins losing the second game, being shut out. It's all falling apart, guys. And I don't know what to do. And I'm freaking out, man.
Well, I feel for you, Gage. I know nothing about hockey, but I do know that Sidney Crosby is older than Gordon, right? I believe. He's been in the league forever. No offense, Gordon, but, he's up there.
I'm an older dude.
He's not Sid the kid anymore, right?
No.
He is Sid the adult. He is 38 years old.
Sid the Papa. Side note, my wife is a Flyers fan, so go Flyers.
Oh.
How do we remove Gordon from this session?
She lived in Philadelphia for almost 15 years, man.
I never lived in Pittsburgh, and guess what? I still love Pittsburgh. And an Eagles fan.
Penn State, and she loves Penn State.
She changed her college team. She's no longer a Penn State fan.
Oh.
She's riding with the Buckeyes.
I thought she might have went to Virginia Tech.
Franklin.
With Franklin.
So she's a bandwagon Buckeye. Gotcha.
No. I mean, well, I guess you could say that.
He's like, nope. Well, maybe so. I don't know. Our WrestleMania picks last week. Gage, you went 9-4. Gordon, you went 8-5. I went 9-4. What did you guys think about WrestleMania this past weekend?
There was a couple good shocks. One of them I was kind of disappointed on. One of them I was actually kind of excited for. It was great. Brock Lesnar taking off his boots and gloves and laying him in the ring. That was disappointing. But everyone got to see the real Brock Lesnar when he was leaving. Not this mean, overwhelming dude. Grateful for the fans, giving him high fives. And he never did that in his entire career. He patted him on his chest. He had tears. Really showed he was a real human being. But I like the meanest shit Brock Lesnar too. So that's no big deal. And the other great one is Pat McAfee got RKO'd. That was wonderful.
McAfee got RKO'd and Randy lost. Like, what? That, again, awful for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pat McAfee was cross-roaded, jelly-rolled, and then RKO'd.
So, like I said, I lost all focus during WrestleMania night 1 after the trade went down. I couldn't tell you half of what happened in that main event, not paying much attention. So night 1 for me, I didn't think it was all that great. Night 2, like you said, Brock starts it off. Do you all think this maybe isn't the end of Brock Lesnar? Because Paul Heyman owes Gunther a favor. Gunther is going to be after Paul Heyman here, right? And then Paul Heyman's going to call in somebody to take care of Gunther, and that call is going to be Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam in his state where he went to college in Minnesota, and that's where the real retirement happens.
I don't think it'll be publicized if it is Brock. It might be one of those things like Gunther's holding an open challenge or something like that, and then that's when Brock comes out and then officially retires. But at the same time, it's like you already did the thing. You already did the thing that all wrestlers do. You took your boots, you took your gloves off, you left them in the middle of the ring. You said thank you, you cried, you gave people high fives, and then you expect people to believe you're coming back for one match.
If you remember The Undertaker after the WrestleMania against Roman Reigns, he took his gloves off, his hat and everything, left them boots, left them in the ring, and then came back after that and wrestled again. So
yeah, but I also think that Undertaker, he's going to be there once a year to wrestle. He's there for WrestleMania, and that's it. If Brock comes back, if you want to do it right, you would wait until next year to have that real effect.
I don't know if they do it in Saudi, though, is the thing. I hope it's the end. No, I mean, I would hate to see Brock go or whatever, but I like the fact that if that's how he went out, like Gordon said, it showed that he's an actual human being. He's not this, mean, angry guy all the time. He's a human. He's not playing the character anymore. He's the actual guy. I like that touch. I think that's perfect way to end it. Just end it like that.
And I thought it was very amusing. Not just WrestleMania this past weekend, but the entire time he's been back for the past even couple years. He's supposed to be this mean person. Everyone's supposed to hate him. Everyone cheers for him every time he comes out. Every time that music hits, the place blows up.
It's Brock.
Well, What about when he tripped on that entrance and he got back up, took his cowboy hat off, and set it on Braun Breaker's head? Like, that's the playful side of Brock Lesnar right there. I think that's a little bit of him breaking character a little bit before Sunday.
Well, when he gave that guy an F5 and then he got up and he blew the ass of his jeans out, he walked around flipping it up, said, "Look at my undies, look at my undies." Yeah. I mean, he was very entertaining watching him, and he never had to say a word.
Frankly, he couldn't really say a word. He wasn't that good on the mic.
He was okay.
A lot of people say F5, and I need to get myself a shirt for that.
So, like I said, that was a good part of the night two. Night two, I thought, was better than night one because...
That's not saying a lot. But night one was better than WrestleMania last year, complete entirety.
Right, but
WrestleMania
night two
last year was horrible.
The main event of night two saved it for me, I think, because I thought it was a great match, clean finish, no outside interference, which we usually get from Roman Reigns matches.
Yeah,
and I thought that it was a gret match.
I'm sorry, Gage. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I got something to complain about. So go ahead.
I got one too. I mean, but I understand it's WrestleMania, it's a title match, but there's some things that, I mean, if you're going to have them do that, you need to make it a no holds barred match. Because technically, when he cracked Punk in the head with them chairs, the stairs should have been a disqualification on the spot. It wasn't a no holds barred match. It wasn't no DQ match. It was a basic match, and you hit him with the stairs.
How pissed would the fans be, though, if it ended on a disqualification right there?
That's what I'm saying, though. They should have pulled off and said it's a no holds barred match, kind of like what they did with Finn and with the Demon, and which that was great seeing the Demon again. Didn't want to see Finn Balor again.
That's what I was going to complain about too. It's not like Roman did something to distract the ref and then he hit Punk with the stairs. The ref's looking directly at him and he just clobbers Punk with the stairs, and we're all like, hello, DQ? Like, is this Bloodline rules and no one really knows? And if it is Bloodline rules, who's coming out during the match? Are we going to get a Rock appearance? Are we going to get a Stone Cold? What's going to happen? And nothing happened.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be some sort of outside interference there, but I'm with you. I mean, they should have made it a no DQ or whatever, but I still like the idea that there was no outside interference, and it was... Because, I mean, that's what you always get from Roman Reigns matches. And finally, one where there's no outside interference here.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked the main event. I thought it was a great match.
Yeah, they were sitting there and talking about on X. Someone said, who should dethrone Cody and who should dethrone Roman? And I said, Randy should dethrone Cody because that's coming. But Ova will be the one to dethrone Roman in about a year in his third title defense.
Yeah.
He's going to defend it coming up with at the next pay-per-view, Jacob Fatu.
Well, he
and then
hasn't answered that yet.
Well, and then Roman will win and then not defend it again for 5-6 months.
Yeah, he's one of the very few that can get away with that.
I heard that. So the reason why they put the Usos back out there with him is they're wanting to make Jey Uso the tribal chief, and Roman's going to pass that on to him. He's going to turn to him. It's going to be another bloodline civil war coming up again, and Jey and Roman are going to be fighting over the title.
Do you think that the writers all have these stories like saved in files, like in a laptop or something, and someone just accidentally opened up an old one from the past and said, oh wait, this looks great. Let's do it again.
Yeah, maybe they could fight to see who gets the Lufala thing or whatever it is on
the Oompa Loompa.
On Netflix's series premiere of Raw.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What? It's like, what are we doing? Other matches from like night 2. I thought the ladder match for the IC title was very good. The only thing I wasn't a fan of, but I was just because of the spot, Javon Evans doing the cutter to Rusev on the ladder. There's no reason for Rusev to jump off the ladder after Javon. Like, okay.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have hit and never made it to him.
Oh, yeah. But it's like maybe someone should have came like up and like pushed Rusev off, and like Rusev kind of jumps then or something. Rusev just was like, here, you have me.
No, I thought the greatest thing ever was the Mexican Destroyer on the ladder to JD McDonough, the world's tallest midget.
And another great thing, just having the Demon back. Like you talked about, his entrance is so fun.
They need to do that more often.
I understand, like Finn said before, I don't like doing the Demon because it takes too much time. And I completely understand looking at all the body paint and the makeup that goes into it. They have to do that. It has to take 2-3 hours to get it done.
If not more.
Yeah, because it has to be precise. I mean, getting Demon across his back, you can see the letter proportions. They have to be perfect. Otherwise, you almost have to start all over.
One of the other moments I liked from night 2, which I thought put it over the top for night 1, besides the main event, the opening match, the ladder match, all that, the Demon, Danhausen and the Mini-Hausens come out during the Miz, John Cena, Kit Wilson segment. And when he comes into the ring, and he says, I have something to say to you, points at John Cena, goes over to him. I'm like, oh, he's about to curse John Cena. And then he goes, sticks his hand, and he goes, hi, Danhausen, big fan of everything you do. Looks over at the crowd, at the camera, and it's got that big cheesy smile. That's hilarious. And then when the midgets carry Miz, it was great.
Like Danhausen and Cena are in the ring afterwards, and the little puff of smoke goes, the lights don't go out, and Danhausen's like gets out of the ring, runs over to the other side, crawls under the ring. I'm like, oh my god, like this is perfect.
John Cena says retired life is awesome.
I don't know what that was, but that was funny.
That was great. So guys, the draft's tomorrow. We've got baseball going on. Hockey is about to end for Gage. Sorry, Gage.
Okay. Hey.
We got UFL this weekend. A lot of sports. We'll come back on here next week. We'll recap the draft, see what everybody did. Gage may have some stuff here from, boots on the ground. Gordon may have some more interviews that he's talked about. Guys, you got anything else you want to add before we end the podcast? Gage, you got any more jokes this week, or Gordon?
I unfortunately don't have any jokes, but with going to the draft, there's only one way I'm going to be able to make it through the entire time. I mean, I start work at 8 a.m. and then I'm leaving and then I'm going the rest of the night. Don't know when I'm going to get back. And I'm going to need something to keep me pumped up, something to keep me energized. And that's going to be with the sponsor of this show, W Energy. Use the promo code Yelling, save 10% at checkout, use the link in the description, and just get some clean energy drinks in ya. Don't use Monster or whatever else is out there, Kickstart. W is the only one that is clean and just has a great taste to it overall. I do have a new one coming in on Monday, and we'll do an unpackaging next week on the show, just like what we did with the last one. But it's going to be a cherry limeade flavor, and I'm so excited for it. I love cherry limeade. but it's coming. It's on the way. W.GG, promo code yelling to save 10%. BW, be better.
And if you get hungry out there, may I suggest going to deutschfoods.com. You can use our promo code yelling. It'll save you $5 at checkout. Get you some what the fudge basic batch, some chocolate chip. Yeah, so I mean that's all some good stuff right there. You could try. You could throw it in the oven. You could eat the dough right out of the jar. Either way is fine. Foods.com, promo code yelling, save you 5%. And so if you get hungry or you get thirsty, you need a little energy. Deutsch. Great combination right there.
And I might need to take some Deutsch with me on Friday because we all know the food prices down here are going to be jacked through the roof.
Yeah, absolutely. But guys, I guess we'll catch you all next week and we'll talk a little draft recap and stuff.
Later.